Welcome back to part 2. So let's open up the SQL data browser itself. Now in here I'm going to create the following. Let's click on new and let's give it a name. I'll just call it hotel. I'm going to browse to where my file is, and right there, that's my file. Double click on that and open up the folder, open up the bin, and right inside debug, that's where I'm going to save my project. So click on save. Now let's give that a name. I'm just going to call that hotel as well. Now add the very first field. The very first field is going to be ID. Make it integer, and I'm going to select node integer, not new, make it primary, and increment automatically, and here it should be a unique number. Then the next field is going to be customer reference, and I'm going to make that text box. Then I'm going to follow it by first name. The next record is going to be surname. And they are both going to be text. The data type is text and the data type here is text as well. Next one, I'm going to make that address, and so on, guys. I will have to speed that up and get back to you guys. And there we go, guys. Those are all my fields. So let's drag this down so that you can see it there. And I have the other ones here. There we go. In total is 22. That's including the ID. So we'll bring it down again. There we go. I'm going to click on OK. And right in here, that's where I have my database. Okay, so minimize that. Now I'm going to close this because I don't really have any need for it anymore. There. Okay, now let's close this as well. Oh, look here, I need yes or no. Alright, I'm going to close that. Let's go back in there. It's good I clicked on that. Double click on that. Let's come in here because I say if yes, so let's change this to dot yes or no. Yeah, that's fine. That takes care of that. Now we don't need to click on our form. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to come right up here. I need to import the following. Well, that is going to be using system database. Okay, let's copy this. Using system database, and that is going to be .SQLite, but it's going to give me an error because I still have to install. So let's just say SQLite. I have to install the SQLite itself, which I haven't done yet. So look at this error, take note of it. I'm not going to get rid of the error, but what I'll do is I'll go straight to the tools right here. Okay, we need this library. After doing this, click on that. We need NU get package here. NU get package, and right there I need a manage NU package solution. Click on that, and in here go to the browser. I want to browse for SQLite, and there we go. We have a lot to select from. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to look for the driver that I've used before. You guys can make sure you read all of this. Read whichever you want to use so that you know you are using the right one. But the one I'm going to use is right here. System.database.sql core, the official SQLite database engine for both x86 and Windows 64. So I'm going to select that. Okay, make sure it's selected, and that is the name of my project. Make sure that is checked. Once it's checked, the system now give you authorization or permission to install. I'm going to click on install, and right here, if you want to read this, you can always read it. Okay, and click on OK. And here we need to just see the feedback here. Let's see, it's coming up. Successfully installed. That's it, it's installed and finished. That's good. So I'm going to collapse that. I don't need this anymore. I have no need for this anymore. That's it, all gone. As you can see, the error that the previous error I had is gone. Now, okay, while we're still in here, might as well just declare the following right underneath this public partial class form. So the first one that I'm going to declare, the first variable is going to be, let's say, private SQLite connection. That is it. Okay, and I'm going to call it SQLite con. That's what I'm going to call my object. That's good. Now the next one I'm going to call, let's say, private SQLite. That would be command. Where is command? Maybe up there. There we go. And I'll just call the object name as, let's make this uppercase. Oh yeah, okay, uppercase, that's fine. There. Maybe lowercase as well. Yeah, lowercase, why not? Yeah. Now the next one, that will be for my data table. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make them uppercase so that they can come out properly. So the data table will also be uppercase. DT, we call that DT. Private SQL data table, and this data table I'll just call it SQL DT. Right, that is going to be an object equals new data table. There we go. Now let's say private data set. So I'll call that TS equals new data set. And finally, that will be private SQLite data adapter. Where is it? There we go. And for the data adapter, we just call that DB. There. Okay, here we have an error. Let's just enter parentheses. That's what is missing there. Parentheses here as well. Let's go right down. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to declare some other variables that I would need for my project. So I'll call that single room, double single room. I'll make the price about $45.50. Another double. Let's copy this. So this is going to be double room. So we'll change the price to about 70, maybe 75, 80. And this is family room. I'll make that about 100 and something there. Let's say 120. And here, let's call that 1 meal. So 1 meal, we can make the price of that about £7 plus. Then we have another mail. So let's say that is 2. If you want to in a day, 2 mails the next day, and 3 mails, and change the price. So let's make the 3 mails about 18.50 and this one 12.50. Yeah. Okay, those are my variables for the mails. And one more thing, I'm going to need, let's say, double I tax equals 0.25. That is for the tax calculation, and double total comma tax there. So I've declared all the variables that I intend to use. There we go. Now let's create a function. The very first function that I'm going to create is to connect the database. So I'm going to say private. Let's copy that and just put it right here. Private void, and that will be SQL connections. I'm going to copy all of this. Come right down here, paste that in there. SQL set connection. Okay, let's call that set connection. That is going to be the name of that. Let's say set connection DB. Okay, set connect DB. Yeah, that is fine. Enter curly braces in there. Now I'm going to say SQL con equals new SQL connection, and inside this new SQL connection, that is where I'm going to now enter my data source. So let's say data source. We now need the location where I have the database that I created earlier. That should be data source. It should be in a quote, really. Right, let's look for my database. That's it right there. Okay, now hold on to the shift key, right click, and let's select copy part. This one right here. Click. I've already copied the part. So now come right down here, let's paste that part in here and get rid of this speech bar there, get rid of this as well. Then all these backslash, you have to make them 2 double backslash, and this as well. Here, there. Okay, that's it. So we also need, let's move this one here. Okay, that is my own directory copied and linked here. Now let's create another private void that will execute everything that I have in here. So let's say private here underneath here. Paste that, and that is going to be, I will call that execute query. Right, query. And this very one, the inside the parenthesis, I'm going to declare a string variable, and this one will just call it C. No, let's just say customer reference. Customer reference queue. Alright, referring to the customer ID. Then let's just set connection. That should be set connection DB, which is right up here, equals that, and SQL con dot open. We have to open that, the communication link. Now we also need a connection, the command to get linked with the connection. So let's say SQL command equals SQL connect dot create command. There. Okay, now what about SQL command, this one here, dot command text? What is the command text? This is the command text. Equals that. We now need to get it executed though, so we should put an equals here. Now let's say SQL command dot execute the query. And after that, we can then get rid of this, dispose it off, dot dispose. And we also need to close the connector. Dot close. There. Okay. Now underneath, I'm going to also create another load up the database itself. So I'm going to call that upload data. In there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now call my connector, so that is set SQL set connection DB. The other one that I'm going to call is going to be my connect. I want that opened. Dot open. And we also need SQL command. The SQL command equals SQL connect dot connection dot create command dot create command, enter parentheses. Now what do we want to do? We now need to write an SQL statement here. String command text equals as follows. So I can just say select all from hotel. There. Select all from hotel. So now let's do this. We now need, let's say db equals new SQL adapter, this one. And this SQL adapter, we have the command text, comma SQL connect. There. This should be in uppercase, I think. Yeah. Alright. We now need to reset. ds dot reset. We also need to reset. Okay, let's fill up the database first. Dot fill ds SQL dt equals ds dot table, right? And let's just put that in on our array. Okay, now we need it to populate our data grid view. So I can then say right in there data grid view 1 dot data source equals SQL DT, the very one. There we go. And we also need to now close the connection. SQL connect, this one. Paste that right there. Okay, all is done, but this, my function name, I need to now get that initialized. So I'm going to come up here where I have my initialize. Where is it? I think it's down here. Yeah, right down here. Paste that in there, enter semicolon. You can also paste it inside the form load, but I'm just going to paste it right under initialize components. Okay, let's run it and see how that will look like since I have initialized it here. Okay, let's run the program. We should be able to see the database appears on the there we go, right there on the data grid view there. Now there's one thing I like to do before I proceed. You see, if I click on this, I want you to calculate automatically calculate how many days in here. So I'm going to end that. I'm going to come down here. Let's come right down. Okay, let's do it right below the initialize. So right underneath the initialize, let me just copy this. I'll come right down here and just enter. There's that in there. Let's give it a name. The name is going to be number of days. Number of days. Okay, that's fine. And enter. Let's close that. Right. For this number of days, what I want to try and achieve is when I click on, let's say, date, time. Anytime I select any of those, I want you to tell me the total. Let's get this indented. Okay, day. The first one, I'm going to call it f equals convert dot today. Today is date time picker. So let's say the first one is going to be 2. Okay, the other one is number 1. 2 equals that. That is for the very first one. I'm going to copy this, create another object. This is going to be S, and change this one to 3. If you are wondering why do I have 2 and 3, it's because the date of birth is 1. That is it right here. Date of birth is daytime picker 1, and this one is 2 and 3. Alright, so now let's carry out the calculation. I'm going to say time span, there we go, equals S subtract. Let's select subtract, put a bracket, and just enter what we want to subtract from there. So we're actually subtracting S from F. Yeah, and that takes care of that. Now where are we going to add our deduction? Let's just call it DE. Now DE equals is going to be displayed inside LBL day dot text equals, let's convert that, convert dot to string. And what are we converting? We're converting, let's get it, okay, is number. We need to convert it back. Okay, so let's say convert dot to 64-bit. Let's change that to 64, and that is going to be dot days. Close that and enter semicolon there. So what will happen is, once we subtract whatever we have in here from here, we get the result in here. Let's try it out. Okay, so we come in here now, select whatever day, and we expect it to display something here. But one thing is, I need to call that very function in here. So let's go back. I'll copy the function name. That's it. You can see it's highlighted because it's now being used. So let's copy it, come right down here, double click on this one and paste the function in there, enter semicolon. And I'm going to do the same thing for the second one here, double click, paste there, and let's run it and see. There we go. So let's select anyone. You see that? If I select this, and that one will give me whatever. Let's go to maybe, yeah. Okay, you see how that works, so that's fine. Right, now let's exit. Now that that is done, let's do one more thing. Okay, let's create a function for print. So first thing first, I'm going to create an object here, and I'll just call it bitmap in lowercase there. And inside this object, those will be my lines of code for print. Okay, have a good look at it, but it's not going to print yet. So for it to be able to print, now I need to come straight to the document, print document, double click on print document. We now need to call e.graphic dot draw. That will draw image, not draw line. So this image. There we go. And this image, I want it to be a bitmap format. And I want it to take the following coordinates, which is going to be 0 by 0 there. So with that we should be able to print. Let me run it and see. There we go. Okay, click on print there. That's it right there. The print is working. Right. Okay, close that. So we've taken care of print and 1, 2, and 3. Now we need to take care of this button. But before we can take care of this very button, we need to be able to add components in here straight here. So to do that, let's first of all double click on this and just take care of that first. So right in here, the first thing I want to do is to say string cost reference q equals, I'd like it to insert into hotel the following. So the first one is going to be cost ref, comma, followed by first name, comma, followed by surname, followed by address, and I'm just going to speed that up. And there they are. Those are the fields, and those values will be collected from the various objects. So let me press, let's say, come down here so that you guys can see it. So we'll bring this down as well, and each of those data here, come in here, press enter, and here as well. Okay, I think that will do. So you guys should be able to see it properly now. Let's just get it indented properly. Okay, right here, those are all the fields up to here, and those fields will be entered or will be collected from each of these components, that is for the customer, the name, surname, address, postcode, and so on. Okay, so have a good look at it there. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to get it executed. So let's say execute. I want it to execute the query. What query are we executing? We want to execute this. Put that in a bracket there. Now what else do we want? We want to load up the system as well. I think it's called update data. The update database. No, let's go back in there and get the name. The function that I created earlier should be inside. There we go, that's the function. Upload data is called. Scroll right down and call that as well. Upload data. There we go. Now, you see, when we run it, whatever value we enter inside the components, we can then click and they will be displayed right here. So let's enter something in here. Let's just see this, and whatever then the name is. Let's go for my friend Tony Montana. Alright, address 45 Little Venice. Postcode. And those are the details of Tony Montana. Well, the calculation hasn't taken place yet. However, let's just try this out. So I'm going to click on this now. There we go. Look at that. Okay, you've been able to enter that details of Tony Montana in there. Let me enter his sister's name. Actually, his girlfriend, Santana Montana. No, undo that. This right up here, Santana Montana. Yeah, I don't think she will go mad. Well, friends. So let's change that phone number and change this to female. Oh, Tony is declared as female. Okay, alright, and that's it. Change the date of birth. And this one. Okay, let's say she's from United Kingdom. And right here to Joan, she needs one room, double room, single. Okay, extension number there. All we just need to do is enter Santana's details right in there. Okay, now we didn't change the email's address, but that's okay. This is just training. It's not the real thing. There, and that. Okay, that's fine. So all we then need to do to finalize this project is to be able to do some calculation here. So I'm going to end that, and let's just create a function for that calculation, and I can call it right in here. I can even put a function in here. Okay, let's create this function. Maybe I should just create it right up there. So I'm going to copy this, create it right up there. So the calculation will be just to check the cost of the room and meals. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say public or private total cost. And let's declare a double variable. This is the one I'm going to call it T day. Total day equals, let's convert whatever we have inside dot date dot to in 64. Right. In 64, get rid of this U. In 64, that is going to be LBL day dot text. Change this one to uppercase. Right. So whatever we have in day is stored in here now. So let's use an if statement. If cbo mail dot text equals the value of 1, then let's say and we want the other one because there are two. The other one is cbo room number or room type. The text equals single then we want the following. If it's equals single, we want the following to happen. So what do we want? We want total that we've already declared up there. Total equals mail 1 plus single room. And then we want to multiply that by the day, total day. There. Now why do we have an error of single room? That wrong spelling. No. Single room. Right. Okay, we have that. So we now need tax to work out the tax. Tax equals total, multiply that by tax, high tax, and we now want to divide it by 100 to give us the tax. I'm going to say LBL tax dot text equals, let's convert dots to string. Whatever we have in here, let's format it to pound sign as well. Format string dot format, and let's say that'll be 0 column C column speech bank here, comma types. There. That should take care of that. So the next thing we now need is I'm going to copy all of this and use it for subtotal. Subtotal equals there. But in the case of subtotal, this one will become total. That will be total. Paste. In the case of total, this will become this plus that. Yeah, I should take care of that. There we go. So I've taken care of the very first one. Okay, let's speed things up and take care of the rest condition. So this is the first condition. So I'm just going to put first in there. And I'll just speed it up and get back to you because it's exactly the same lines of code. The only difference is just the different variables that we used. And there we go, guys. That's the very first one. And if you look at it, the second one is right here. All I've just done is add an if statement to it. And I changed the variable from single to double. Multiply that by double room. That's all I've done. And the next one, if you guessed, family room and multiply that by family room. Now if we go to the second condition, okay, male, that means you want 2 single, and this one becomes single, and that's all there is to it. Then this become double, this become double, family, and this become family. The third one, third condition, the same thing. Okay, so let's run the program and you guys see how it works. Okay, to speed things up, I've added some values in there, and in here we have Santana Montana. We have this day. Let's change it to about 5 and change this to maybe June, single room, and so on. Okay, maybe we should even change this room number and make that double. Right, so all I just need to now do is, if you come right down here, let's see what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna click on add new total. There we go. Click again, so we should be able to see Santana Montana there. And let's see, it's 33 and we have £6 plus there, and let's see, 33, £6 plus, and so on. Okay, one other thing that I've done is I've actually speed that up. If I click on any of these, I want it displayed in there. Okay, let's assume we click on Peter Parker. There, those are the information of Peter Parker right there. Okay, and I'll just show you the single lines of code that took care of that, or the lines of code that actually took care of that. So click on Santana. Now let's look for Tony Montana. That's Tony Montana there. Tony Montana doesn't have any value or any price in there, so all we just need to do is, if I click on total, we should be able to see details of Tony Montana here. I'll come right down here. That's Tony Montana. Yeah, so you get that message when if you click on any of the cells in here. So if you want to select anything, just click here. Okay, and that's how you get that. So let me show you guys the code that took care of that. All you have to do is double click on the data grid view, and you need cell, that is it, cell click. I need here, that's the event that I use, cell click. Scroll right down. These are the lines of code that took care of that. Okay, and I've actually used try cache, so have a good look at those lines of codes. Okay, there. And if I take it down, that's just the cache statement in case there's any error. That was the message you guys were getting. Okay, right. Okay, so I'm going to run it so that you see how it looks like. So that is the rest lines of code. Alright, let's run it now. And there we go. So the whole purpose of that code is when you click on this column here, the data here will be displayed right on every single component here. So let's click on that. That's Santana Montana's details. If we come in here, that's Paul Parker's details, Peter Parker's details, and let's see. Yeah, let's check out Tony Montana there. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed. Please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. And thanks for watching. You all have a nice day now. Bye for now.